that's where Apple they screwed up, and I feel like Netflix is going in the same direction where they just were like, oh no, we're Netflix, like we
oh right, like people are gonna be here no matter what,
no matter what they're gonna be here, and then now you have these people who are coming in through the woodwork and it's like, all right, everything that they do wrong, we're not gonna do, and you know what? So fuck, they just they keep bumping up their price points and everything. Let's keep ours here and things like that. And, they're gonna keep adding more services to their products. At that point, now you're the one who started everything, but now you're the most expensive guy on the block. Why would I come to you for what? You can't even do what half these other ones do, and you have less than the other ones.
So wait, how do you stop from becoming that then? How do you stop from becoming like what you were set out to destroy, basically? Because basically they're becoming Blockbuster,
right?
And they're getting taken down. So
I believe, like I said, you have to adapt with the times, and you have to be able to really, which is hard because whoever is in charge of whatever, they pretty much, you follow them, but you have to be able to see, like, being a CEO or being a boss, people think it's all like glitz and glamour and all. I just tell people what to do and I can fire and hire. No, it's way more when it comes to actual like corporations, and like when you have people like the guy who's running Netflix currently, he has so many people's lives in his hand, because if that shit does fall, which I feel like it's gonna fall soon, everyone's out of a job. And then also you don't want to have the stigma of being like, oh, you worked for Netflix? They died. Like, why?
And it was your fault.
Yeah, like, why the fuck I'm gonna hire you? Like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? Like, there's things like that. Like, you have to have the wherewithal to be able to stay ahead of the curve. And
I would say it's hard though. Like when you have like a business model or whatever, and it's making money and it's constantly making money, and it's like year after year after decade. It's hard for that person that was in charge to be like, all right, let's listen to these people that haven't been here as long as me, but right. Like, what's their idea? This and that? Nah, like that's not gonna work. Mine's been proven. I'm gonna keep doing that.
And we have a bunch of stories like that from other places that we've tried to lend our our foresight to, and
what happened. But
But it goes back to just a lot of people, like I said, it's hard. It's hard being a boss because...
Right, but then that's why that story you told about Black Panther earlier was like why it was so crazy, because this guy was like, it had never been, or it had been done on a way smaller scale, So when he was doing all that shit, people were probably like, what the fuck? Like, this dude's gonna lose all this money over a stunt probably, and blah, blah, blah. And like, what happened. Like, it wasn't a surprise to us. Like, from the places we were, it wasn't a surprise. Yeah. It was just a surprise to, like, all these other people that just live outside this world.
Yeah. Funny story. It's not funny. It's actually very sad. But you never noticed that people say funny stories and shit don't be funny at all? It'd be, like, the worst shit ever.
It'd just be like, here, come listen to this sad story. You can't say that. You got to be like, hey, listen to this funny story where I cry.
And everything was horrible. But way before this podcast, right, me, Mark, and the mystery third man, which I still won't tell you guys about until... we get to a certain point.
Get that sponsored.
But we had a different podcast, right? So this is when podcasts were early on, right?
We'll release those one day.
Huh?
We'll release those one day.
Yeah, one day, because I still have a lot of the audio and the episodes from that podcast. But it was something to where it was on the scale of this, because we're actually doing way better with this. But it was something that people did like, and it was something that we had literally just... we had shitty equipment. We didn't have any of this stuff.
One mic that we all surrounded.
Yeah, we had one mic we all surrounded, and then we were able to get like different mics and shit like that. But then it was bad. But for what it was, it was good, right? So we, being at that point, how old are we? Like 22, 23?
Yeah, we were still like early college.
Yeah, we were still in college. We were trying to pitch the idea of podcasts to another entity. I'm not going to name or anything like that, but the entity now is they're doing fine or whatever. But
or whatever,
they're doing fine. We tried to pitch the idea of podcasts, and we kept telling them that, hey, the radio and things like that, it's dying. It's antiquated. Like, no one cares. No one cares about what DJs play. No one cares about the hot new whatever. Who gives a fuck? Everything, right?
Yeah.
Everything that is hot now is created on the internet. You know, like I have the ability. I'm like, me personally, I don't even listen to the radio. I'm like, I can literally get in my car and I can choose what songs I want to hear all day. I don't have
what songs, what podcasts, whatever.
Whatever. And I'm like, so why are you why are you still trying to follow this model that doesn't work? Clearly it's not going to work, and clearly you'll see eventually that it's going to fall. So we were like, hey, what you guys could do is do a podcast. Make the show a podcast, make it to where it's something that you can listen to over and over and over again, and then it'll actually be better for you guys and better for the actual brand, because it's something to where it's not like a radio show where most radio shit doesn't even live on unless someone's recording it, right?
And probably only in your car. Like, where else do they have like still boom boxes just playing the radio?
Exactly, right? So unless you're in your car, you're one of those weird people who have like the iHeart Media app for some reason. Like, I don't know why you have that.
Hey man, that's the biggest playing.
I don't give a fuck. Shout out to them niggas.
Bro,
as I just
we'll be a podcast on there.
Yeah. If you give us money to be a podcast, well, I'll suck a dick. But as long as we're not there,
God damn
that
it! Stop
shit is
offering to
stupid.
suck someo's dick. You do that everywhere we go.
I'm just trying to let people know.
I'll do it. All right.
I will have sex for money. But we were pretty much saying like, hey, cut out the middleman. You guys already have a well-renowned brand. You guys already do so much for people. Cut out the middleman. Just create this network. Be the leading, show on the network, and then make everyone else come after that. They can pay for a slot or whatever, and blah 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 blah. Long story less long, the person in charge was like, yeah, I get what you guys are saying, but, I just like the radio. I like that vision. That's what I feel like is something that works. We were like, cool. Eventually, we had some creative differences, and then we ended up leaving. But fast forward to today, that entity does a podcast. And I believe they push the podcast more than anything else.
Really?
That they, at least from what I've seen.
I don't even look them up anymore.
Well, it's on the timeline, so I see it. I'm like, okay. That's something to where, me and him chuckle about it, because it's like, you're about 4 years too late.
Yeah.
And you could have just did it when we were saying to do it, and that's something but like I said, it's hard being a boss, because if you know something works, if I tell Mark every day, I'm like, hey Mark, man, we work out. I'm like, yeah, those lifts you do, they're good. They're gonna get you big and strong. He's like, yeah, I feel big, I feel strong, I look good, cool. But if I tell him one day, I'm like, hey Mark, you gotta switch it up. If you switch it up, you'll actually get even stronger and look even better, because muscle confusion and shit like that. You're gonna be like, no, this has been working. Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this because this has been working. Well, why do I switch it up, right? That's kind of how people are in that position. When they obviously, if you've done a certain thing to where you've created a whole platform for yourself, doing it this way, it's very hard for someone to be like, okay, this works, but if you go this way, if you make a left instead of a right, what you want to do, you can actually make a lot more out of this than, just being like just another platform out there. So it's hard, but that I would say would be the biggest thing for someone to try to avoid that, which is you have to listen to people who know more than you. Listen to people who are younger than you. Listen to people who are actually out there doing the shit, because you might be renowned or well known for being this person and having your pulse on the finger of whatever the fuck, or finger on the pulse, whatever, finger on the pulse of whatever the fuck is going on, right? But that doesn't mean we all get older, right?
When you get older, you lose touch because your priorities shift like crazy.
They shift.
You get a family, focus on that, and you no longer have time to see what's on TV or what's going on in music and crap like that. Right. So you listen to these younger people. You hire these younger people to tell you hey, what's going on. Hopefully you come across the person that's like, hey, no, this is about to happen. Yeah, you can just capitalize on it.
You need to switch over or whatever. I'm like, for me personally, I can't stand that fucking Lil Nas X Old Town Road song, right? I think it's a real dumbass song, But I respect his hustle, and I respect how he scammed all these fucking white folks into giving him all this money, right? Which is awesome, cool, good for him. However, I'm a person who I don't understand it. I don't understand why
people like it.
People like it, but that doesn't mean I'm supposed to then turn around to someone who's younger than me and be like,
"You shouldn't like it either.
You shouldn't like it. This is stupid. Listen to what I'm listening to because I'm older than them, right?"
Yeah.
So that's how I feel like what happens with a lot of these companies. I feel like they just kind of get stuck in their ways. If I go back to wrestling, Vince McMahon, right? The WWE/F, if you were older, they've had their lowest ratings for like the past 2 years. Like it's been a constant drop. And when you
even
watch
with all the people they've added,
a constant drop.
Wow.
So even when you watch and read about it, it's like, oh, they're gonna try this and they're doing this and they're doing that, and it's like they refuse to realize that what's wrong is it's not that the product isn't what's wrong. What's wrong is you have someone who's very old still in charge of the product.
Yeah.
And they refuse to give it up because they feel like they know what's right. That's wrong. Like, because you can't...
Because then you have, like, the diehard fans like yourself that, like, they see it, they're like, oh, like, this story again.
Right.
Oh, this fight again. I've seen this, like, a whole bunch of times. And then if the older person's not telling the younger generation, like, man, this is, like, the shit, and, like, showing them when they're young.
Right.
Young kids aren't going to care about that crap, and they're not going to tune in.
I can't, I grew up on Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, The Rock, and all that shit, right?
The Attitude Era.
The Attitude Era. So I grew up in that era. So for me, that's like a big era. But these kids currently, they don't know that era, right? So it's like I can't redo that era for them because they won't get it. They'll be like, okay, why is this person telling me to suck something? Why is this girl why does this girl have her whole ass and titties out? Like, what is going on? Whatever, right? But what I can do is I can listen to these kids and be like, okay, what do you actually like? Oh, these kids like, a lot of kids like anime. A lot of kids like, shit that's like fucking obviously Marvel and superheroes and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
So why don't I cater my product to being more like fast paced and quick and more moves?
Let's
and everything.
Have an anime wrestler. Let's have
or something like that.
Like a hero wrestler.
Yeah, let's have these out of the box characters because these people like it. Like I think people know now that wrestling is fake. So like
what?
No, it's not. But it's not. But whatever. It's another story.
Just to be clear,
yeah,
it's not.
It's not. But I already understand that. But it's like let's go down that road. Let's. They understand that it's an act. We understand that they understand it's an act. But we can't take that back. It's already been ruined. So what we can do is we can make them be invested in these characters. That's what we have to do. Instead of trying to be like, let's fucking, there's an evil plumber. We'll call him Toilet Bowl. Toilet Bowl Johnson. Like, what? Like, what the, who the fuck? Who makes this shit up? You know what I mean? Like, It's like, how old are you? Like, whatever, right? But it's like, okay, if I know that a billion people just watch the Avengers, and it's all like those movies and shit like that. Everything today is still wrestling, right? The heel, which is Thanos, the first part of it, he beat all the good guys. People are gonna come back because they want to see the heel, which is Thanos, lose. That's modern wrestling. Good guy, bad guy, right? Now the whole story is, okay, all these people are invested in these characters because now they've seen these movies and they're all like, holy shit, there's Iron Man, there's Spider-Man, there's Captain America, Black Widow, whoever the fuck, right? They're all invested in these characters. How we want to see how they're going to beat this guy or if they're going to beat this guy because let's fucking try to suspend disbelief. They're not going to win, right? So it's like that's what makes people show up. The same thing about stuff like this when it comes to these networks and platforms and things like that. You can't keep redoing the same shit. Eventually, people know it's like, okay, you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that, you're trying to do this, right? Yeah. Me and Mark can't come up here and give you guys the same podcast every week. What we can do is we can give you guys the same general idea. You guys know that we're going to talk about something.
We're gonna bring a porn somehow.
Porn, a couple of jerk off jokes, some racist shit. I'm gonna say nigga maybe like 7 times.
I'm gonna want to say it, but don't. One day maybe.
One day maybe.
One day I get punched.
We're gonna end up, making references to like going somewhere super deep and whatever, and then the show ends.
We already mentioned porn.
Yeah, I know.
Have to say
I know. But you caught it. They didn't catch it. But that's pretty much like the outline of the show. For people who think like, what's the outline? The whole thing is there isn't an outline. We freestyle this shit, right? We don't come in like I made the whole joke earlier about pre-production. There's no fucking pre-production.
That's why I was super scared when you mentioned my name because I was like, oh no, he found out something I did.
Literally, what we do is we come in from work and we're like, all right, you got a topic? Yeah, I got a topic. Okay, cool.
Hope no planes go over our head right now.
Hope no planes go over us, but the mics turn on and then we just start riffing. That's what we do, right? So that's our formula, though. I'm not telling people who aren't us to do that, though, because
I wouldn't recommend it. Because it's like that's us.
Yeah, it's us.
If you're not being yourself, then people could tell.
Right. It's like we've been doing this as friends forever. Like this is.
Which I've told some of you, people that are like, how do you guys do this? I'm like, well, we've been doing this since the garage.
Yeah, like we've been friends for now over 20 plus years. So it's like I can legit come in the house and be like, you know what I hate? I hate when girls be trying to walk like they got ass. And then Mark would be like, yeah, I don't like that either because blah, blah, blah. And then now we have a whole hour conversation that went from ass to somehow went to anime, went to wrestling, went to boxing, went to we hate our jobs, and then went to, all right, we should probably go do a hot take.
And then to, what the hell were we talking about in the beginning of this?
Oh, yeah, it was ass. Like, but that's
basically last week's episode.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Which, hey, one of my favorites. I don't care. I like that episode. But I guess that's the big thing when it comes to you guys as creatives and creators and this whole thing about content. Like, everyone tries to put this big stress on content and everything like that. And it's because of things like this whole streaming war that's about to happen and things like that. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter if your content's good, bad, indifferent, if you don't invoke any emotions or anything like that, right? What matters is whatever you're creating, A, you're consistent, and B, you have an idea of what you want to show people, right? So we like to, basically our whole thing is we're two dudes who just shoot the shit. And you guys seem to like it because you guys think like us a little bit, right? So you guys
you're a little crazy like us, right?
You guys a little off like us,
tilted.
So we don't like to see the world how we feel like a lot of people see it. We see it kind of through different colored lenses, so to speak. Yeah. So you guys listen to us because you guys also see the world kind of different too. When you guys want different opinions and perspectives on different shit, right? So we try to kind of bring you our perspective on it. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if we don't be consistent with what we're doing currently, you guys aren't going to care. Not to mention, if we don't always give you guys something fresh and new, you're not going to care. If I can talk about wrestling for like a whole year, and I'd be fine with it. But for you guys, like, okay, what else?
Like, get on with it.
Yeah, what else? What else can you tell us, right? So that's why for us, we talk about different shit every week, and things like that. If you're not willing to adapt with what's going on, I feel like any company, whether it be fucking Netflix to any fucking little rinky-dink ass company that's in your city or town or whatever, they are unwilling to adapt to what's going on. They feel like, you know what? No, this is us. We do this, and they're gonna come to us for this or whatever. That's the stupidest model you can have.
The only thing I think of like real world, like physical, would be like coal. Like people that stuck with like digging up coal and like it used to be like the shit. Like yeah of course, because it was the new thing. But now they want to stick to that and don't want to convert to like clean energy, like the stuff that's gonna make money. Right. The new kid, basically. Then they're gonna die, and like those people that don't learn how to work in those industries, I mean, they're gonna lose everything, which sucks. But
yeah, like at the end of the day, I feel like all these streaming services and things like that are just the way the world works in general these days. Is you have to be uncomfortable. I mean, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. That's the biggest thing. Like, you know, for people who want to do what we do, it's quite easy. You know, buy a camera. You should if we ever do release those like first episodes that we ever did of like our first podcast and crap, you're gonna tell the difference of like how we're timid. We'd probably talk like super quiet to the mic because we didn't want to. I distinctly remember the first episode of the first podcast we ever did. Not this one. This is a way back when we were still in college and shit. Yeah. it took us, I want to say, maybe 45 minutes to an hour to do the intro.
Yeah, just because we kept fucking and we're like, oh, how should we say it? Should we do it like this? This one right here, first episode, we're like, all right, fuck it. That's why I intro it so short, because it's like, fuck it to the point, get to the topics, and then we'll start talking. Whatever.
The outro you guys hear every week, I freestyled that.
We did.
During the episode. I was just like, all right, I have to end it. I'm going to end it like this. Cool. And it's been like that ever since. Like, so for people who's like, oh, what's their blueprint? Or how do you do this? Or how do you guys come up with all this shit? We don't know. Mark does drugs.
Damn.
You know,
just a little heroin. Jeez.
Just a little bit of little needle. That's it. A little needle.
Fun fact, last 2 episodes have been high. That's why I've been talking a little bit more.
Out of his mind, right? But yeah, Mark does drugs. I don't get a lot of sleep. So we just come in here and just bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so... And that's what you get.
Oh man, that just reminded me of that night. We had to stay up in our old apartment. We had rats, and we stayed up all fucking night because it was in my room, and he just stayed up to stay up with me.
Right.
But
I'm a real one.
Yeah, that shit.
I will not leave a soldier behind.
If we could have recorded those conversations, because that shit got loopy, man.
Yeah, it was like, I think I came home maybe like 12 or 1, and we didn't go to sleep till probably like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And it was just the conversations we were having were just ridiculous. Like,
so dumb.
And it was just every hour, Mark would go and check in his room. He's like, "Fuck, I don't see it. I don't know." And I'd be like, "I don't know, man. You don't want to go to sleep with a rat in your room. Like, it's not cool." Like,
because before, I wouldn't say like a week before, something like that, I woke up with one on my shoulder.
Yeah,
that shit was gross.
Mark was spooning with a rat. He didn't like it, so
it was just dirty, man.
But shout out to the East.
We eventually did catch the rat. Like, I devised this plan, whatever, caught it, and then the shit we did after
will not be talked about on this podcast. So let's get to the plugs.
It got dark.
Let's get to the plugs. Mark, hit them with the plugs.
You can find us on youtube.com/howdoiknowyou.
Boom.
Our Instagram, HDIKY1. Our Twitter, How Do I Know You 1. My personal one, you could find me at Mr. Lucky 005 across everything.
And my Instagram is DC Junior BFSB. That's B as in boy, F as in Frank, S B as in boy. I'm
could have
not
used actual words.
Yeah,
been first since birth, but whatever.
Yeah, but yeah.
It's too late for that.
It's too late. I already said it. I'm not on there a lot, but like I said, if you at me, I will respond. But you gotta at me. If you don't at me, I don't care. If you tell him or some shit, I don't care.
Need them analytics.
Boy. Also follow me on Twitter, which is what I'm on the most. That's at DC Junior 13. You can see me usually complain about the train in the morning, or talk about some shit, or joke around with this motherfucker or somebody. What else? I think I had one more. Oh, also update, guys, on the whole the race to 500. 500. Somehow, I hope we can add some reverb to that. It can sound better than what I just did. But currently we're at, I want to say 319 or 320.
320, yeah.
320 subscribers, right? So
all thanks to you guys, man. You guys made that little push at the end. I was just like,
so we're almost at our target of 500. Obviously, like we've been saying every week, once we get to 500 subs, that's 500 subs, we will go to a streaming service. We don't know which one yet. I'm thinking, we're both kind of thinking, maybe we put up for vote and you guys tell us where to go, but then also that gives y'all control, and I don't really like that too much.
It's our stuff.
It's our shit. Like I just said, our content, we control it, right? But I don't know.
I'll put it across everywhere.
Yeah, we'll see what people come up with. But if you guys can continue to subscribe, share the podcast, share the hot takes, share the hot takes on YouTube as well. Just share our stuff. We appreciate it. We love you guys. We do this shit for y'all. Because honestly, we could do other stuff because we know we're talented.
Workout Wednesday.
Just suck our own dicks at the end of it. You know, just it's big. I just want you guys to know that. Also, yeah, like Mark just said, check out the Workout Wednesdays. We're on episode 2 now. I believe that was that was leg day. Yeah. We've been getting good feedback on that. You guys seem to like it, which is cool. Hopefully we inspire you guys to not only get in the gym, but also not give a fuck about what people think.
Yeah, people start us a lot when I'm filming. It's
okay.
Yeah, I don't care either. It's just like, well, say something. Say something then.
Bitch ass nigga. Other than that, like I always say, if I don't know and you don't know,
who really knows?
Come on, man.
I'm a little high.
26 episodes. 26 episodes, and you blank on your one part
I
of the
didn't blank. I just didn't hear you until like 10 seconds later. Why is he saying it so slow?
I don't get it. Then how do I know you? Let's go. See you guys next week. Hopefully some more cool shit happens. Go Disney.